Hello, hello, and welcome back to Real Ale Craft Beer on our travels. We are in Ferrara in Italy. It's absolutely hammering with rain down outside, so I can't do my usual street video. So we're at the table. It's not a bad setup actually. Got light above us. Everything seems okay. It's not too dark. And I'm here today with two Mikkeller beers. I was lucky enough to go to a massive supermarket yesterday on the outskirts of Ferrara in Italy. It was huge. It was like a big Costco, and it had a huge beer aisle. I mean, like double aisled. It had a main interchange down the middle where it could have quite easily turned into wine after that middle aisle, but it carried on. The beer aisle carried on and carried on. Picked up some international beer. There was beer from Newport in South Wales, Tiny Rebel. But I picked up some Mikkeller. This is Mikkeller's ice cold Pilsner beer, genuine Danish taste, 330 milliliter can, 4.5% ABV, your classic kind of Mikkeller looking can. And then we have a Mikkeller Blanche De Mikkeller, which is a wit beer, so a Belgian style wit beer at 5% ABV in a 330 milliliter can. Now, I haven't seen Mikkeller in the UK since the dreaded exit of the UK from the European Union. I've not seen Mikkeller. Perhaps they feel that it's just not a market that they want to sell their beer in anymore. But they're in Italy. I'm drinking it here. I'm going to be trying it here in Italy. But my experience with Mikkeller, let's get this Pilsner out first and foremost. Danish brewery. Oh, blimey. Oh, God. Oh, my. Oh, it's gone everywhere. Oh, dear. Oh, Molly, do you mind getting a bit of tissue? It's going to run off the edge of the table. It's like slowly making its way off the table. I'm not sure if you can. We're in an Airbnb, so Molly, there's kitchen roll in the kitchen.
I thought it was in.
Quickly though.
No, it's not. It's
In the kitchen. Blimey. What I'm going to do now then, I'm going to open the wit beer. Just in case that happens too. No, the wit beer is more well behaved. Just chuck it here, yeah. Thank you very much.
I'll get more.
No, it's fine. I just didn't want it going off the edge of the table. There we are, that'll do for the moment. Right, on with the beer review. Drama over. Tar. I think it's okay to have a little bit of a spillage in beer, isn't it? But to get like a spillage like that, especially for a Pilsner. Why is a Pilsner? I've never seen a Pilsner lager explode like that. Never, ever in my 15 years reviewing beer, ever. It's normally like a safe bet is Pilsner. I was about to say, so for me, let's get into the beer first. We got a one finger white head, good levels of carbonation as we rock the beer back and forth. Hazy Pilsner. Let's get the aroma whilst having a look at the date on the can. Yeah. 31st of the 1st, 2025. Right. So I'm not sure if that's a sell by date or a use by date. It's Japanese, see? This is a Japanese lager brewed at the Brewery in Belgium, but it's been brewed for Japan the Japanese market. It looks good. It is February though, so if it is a use by date, then, well, there's reasons as to why it may have spilt all over the table. A little bit sweet, kind of New World Pilsner like. They were €1.50 a can. They were quite cheap, these Mikkeller beers. Quite citrusy, quite sweet, a little bit of bitterness. Let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. It's not bad. For that reaction on the can, I was expecting like all sorts of nasties in this beer, but it's quite nice tasting actually. It's very soft. It's very the water that they've used in the beer is very soft. It's very subtle. It's got fantastic drinkability. It's almost got a sweet candied flavour to it too. A little bit of carbonation. It's actually a lovely juicy Pilsner. This is actually working really well. It's not the most bitter Pilsner I've ever had. But even after the overspill here, I'd definitely buy this beer again. They've described it as a crisp Pilsner at 4.5% ABV. It definitely is. It's got this kind of candied sweetness to it that I like, that balances off that bitterness. So that's that. Let's try the Witbier. 5% ABV. Belgian wit, good levels of carbonation as you rock the beer back and forth. Hazy, light amber colour. Let's get the aroma. It smells good too. It's got that kind of wit beer, almost kind of slice of orange aroma in there. Again, that almost sweet candied fruit aroma to the beer. Let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. It's actually very similar to the Pilsner. Again, super soft water used to produce the beer. I'm actually going to sip these side by side. It's very similar beer. Pilsner, Witbier. The Witbier weirdly has more bitterness than the Pilsner. It's almost as if the orange, that kind of juicy orange flavour that I picked up in the aroma is offering up, the hops that they've used to produce that kind of orange flavour is offering up a little bit more bitterness than the Pilsner has done, which is quite unusual actually. Normally a Pilsner should be quite bitter, but it's not. It's not. The Witbier is definitely more bitter. The only difference between the two beers is the fact that the Witbier has got a little bit more of an orange flavour, and it's a little bit more bitter. That's the only difference I can offer up in between the two sides, in between the two beers. they're both very soft. They're both very drinkable. They're both very Moorish. I'd be quite happy to sip on these two beers all evening. They are rather nice. Rating then, ice cold Mikkeller Pilsner beer, Japanese export, or a beer brewed for Japan. I'm going to ignore the overflow. It was a bit rough and ready, but I'm going to ignore that because it was probably something to do with the date on the beer. Oh, that's the 26th of the 11th, 2025. So this has got 11 months. This has got 11 months on the Pilsner. 11 months fresher. So maybe that's why it's a little bit more bitter. A little bit more fresh, a little bit more bitter, the Witbier. I quite like that Pilsner. It's quite nice. It's an 8 out of 10. The winner is the Witbier. The Witbier is juicy and delicious and orangey, and from the hops, it's soft, it's drinkable, it's lovely, it's refreshing, it's some bitterness coming through. I like the Witbier enough to give it an 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. I hope you liked the video. A couple of Mikkeller beers in Italy. Please put your comments in the comments box, subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews, give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom, cheers.